those cravens backstabbed me, deceived me. Never shall I tolerate their crimes again. Now let the hunt begin. Oh, 7,000 souls scared and daunted, such a tale of woe. Not too long ago, this village was a golden scene of hope. Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our gloria to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to order. I am the light bringer. Fellow warriors, I ask you, should my campaign come to an end? There's way more to avenge. Oh, 15 million souls living in this realm without much hope. Not too long ago, this kingdom was a golden state of hope. Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our gloria to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to order.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first ever match of, I believe it's called the Spring Semester Showdown. I am here. I'm Dan. Most of you probably know me already. This time I'm joined with Suniz, aka Justin. You probably know him by that name. How you doing?
Hello. Alright, this is my first time, but it's good to cast alongside you, Dan.
Yep. And well, you wanna start jumping in on this matchup for tonight? And more so the details, since you are also the tournament director of this Spring Semester Showdown.
Alright, just to give some quick rundowns on how this tournament works. It's double elimination. It's going to be BO3s until we reach the third place or end the finals match. Those will be BO5s. This will be the first game. This is between, I think, the Renekton Gators and Suniz No Hands 2, which is just it's a match. But both of the
one of the matches of all time.
But both teams, you will probably recognize some of the players here, especially if you're from Rutgers, because currently these are both teams that have most of their students coming from Rutgers. So if you know any of them, you can figure out who you want to root for and all that good stuff.
Flame them in chat. Actually, don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah.
All right.
We will get into this draft very shortly. It seems like one team is not quite ready or doesn't know how draft law works, but we don't know for sure. But either way, we probably should talk about some of the limitations in this tournament. I know normally in tournaments we don't have a limit, so all these high elo people will show up, but this time it's a little different.
Basically, this tournament is Plat 1 and D4 Flex plat capped, so that way we can actually have a lot of people that may not usually have the ability to either compete or even win our tournaments, get a chance to shine. So a lot of these people will be allowed to play for the first time, and
Oh
as I
boy.
speak, we're in
We
straight into the
straight.
draft.
We do have some information on some of the players in this tournament. First of all, yep, there's that Yone being banned. I was gonna start running down through the player list, but we could start with Zeke Katari, the top laner for, I believe, the Renekton Gators. Has a lot of games on that Yone. Is natural that that champion will be banned out, but there is also another player that has a lot of games on a certain champion. It's gonna be is he in the tournament? Hold on. Is he in the? Yep, it's gonna be Dwangmo.
Dwaymo
595 games on Diana as of today.
Renekton Gators responding with a Kha'Zix ban, which is a respect ban towards Sumon's champ pool. He, especially with the recent Kha'Zix buffs, Kha'Zix has been looking really strong, not only in solo queue, but also starting to see some good showings in definitely around the amateur level. Ari ban is to respect Totally Not Lucy, who plays a lot of Ari games, probably his most played champion.
Sounds a lot like my roommate. He's also a freaking RE1 trick. 1 million plus mastery points. I will shout him out there right now. Okay, there we go.
Mhm.
Anyway, I'm surprised Suniz no hands. If they don't ban the Diana here, oh, they actually don't.
Taking away Mordekaiser and Alistar. Alistar probably being a really strong engage champion for the Renekton Gators, along with Mordekaiser being able to shut down a lot of really strong engages, especially if they're going to look for an engage-based champion. Generally, Coco B has been known to play a lot of strong engage tank champs, and there we go. We see the Diana getting picked up.
Yeah, Suniz no hands. They had the plan, they execute on it, and they will, instead of taking away that Diana, they will just steal it for themselves. And that leaves the Diana one trick on the Gators with a whole lot of nothing, but they do respond with the Zenzel, which I assume would be a decent matchup into the Diana, assuming that Dwangmo has a lot of experience in a bunch of different jungle matchups.
Mhm. And also, Twoni is getting to pick up his Aphelios, which is seems to be his comfort and his. So a lot of people are picking up their comfort here. We have Shen for Kokubi, we have Syndra for Totally Not Lucy, and this Kale could potentially,
Ooh.
very likely, is going top lane. I will quickly
Most.
stress
No, no, you go ahead.
that as of now, Kale has not been adjusted, has not been buffed. I know there's a really OP buff coming up for Kale on the next patch, but as of now, Kale is not adjusted yet. So this is definitely going to be interesting.
It's gonna be an interesting matchup into the Shen. If Shen is able to just absolutely oppress the Kale in the early stages of the game, it might go in favor as soon as it hands, but it's gonna be a little iffy because if Kale isn't really like interacted with, just let alone just freezing the wave, just farming up, Kale definitely will be a problem towards the later stages of the game, but it's going to be all up to Suna's hands and see how they play this out. But for now, we should look at the second wave of bans incoming. So for the Scion and the Ezreal going to be taken off the table for now. Followed up with the Kaisa, which heavily denies Suna's no hands' composition. They were talking. They were talking about doing some sort of like dive comp. The dive comp is slowly coming into fruition with the Shen and the Diana, but they want to do a Kaisa Nautilus, and with the Kaisa gone, it's gonna throw a wrench into their whole operation.
And just to mention, as of now, it's really important to stress the scaling levels that we see on Renekton Gators. We have Aphelios in the ADC position. We have Kale likely in the top position. We have Xin Zhao to create space for them in the late game. We should not, it, for Suniz No Hands to win, we should be expecting them to be drafting hard early game champions or strong skirmishing champions that allow them to proceed and progress a strong lead. As I speak, I have misspoken.
Oh.
Kale is actually mid lane, and the Orin is top lane. So it's very important that with now Orin, Kale, and Aphelios, that Renekton Gators really wants to get to that late game. And if soon as No Hands recognizes this, they should be drafting a really strong bot lane here to try to punish this Aphelios.
I would be surprised if they don't see it. It's kind of blatantly obvious. Like Kale late game, ooh, late game strong. Aphelios, ooh, late game strong. Ornn, ooh, late game strong. Also makes Kale and Aphelios, ooh, late game stronger. So looks like, ooh, there was an option for Lucian Nami down the bot lane, but instead Amelia will get locked in instead.
And
And we haven't seen a whole lot of Emilio, or at least on Rutgers streams, but this is also like the first one in like a good while, so a lot has changed in the map.
now I will quickly mention I don't exactly like the Pantheon pick. I can see its potential benefits, especially with being able to roam and set up some of these late game scaling solo lanes and allowing them to progress further into the game. But I just don't see how it really helps the 2v2 in the bot lane, and this might be a really punishable lane in the future.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I guess their what's it called? Their thought process with their comp. They were probably thinking, yeah, we have a lot of late game. Why don't we just have someone just so that we can help secure the early to mid, which is exactly what that Pantheon can do. Very strong in the early to mid game, but other than that, it's gonna rely more heavily onto the Aphelios, the Kale to just be those be just be strong late game. I don't know why I can't talk right now.
hmm From if we want to see for any of the people that are fans of Renekton Gators, we should be expecting to see Xin Zhao and Pantheon grouping up together and going around the map, skirmishing because they have both really strong skirmishing power, and pairing that with the trying to get Aphelios and Kale ahead. On the side of Suniz No Hands, we also have some really strong skirmishing power between Lucian and Diana, and with the Shen specifically in this top lane, we definitely want to be seeing a lot of action towards the bot side of the map to punish this Aphelios, to punish the fact that he doesn't have as much peel in the until as he gets to that late game stage and he has Xin Zhao and Ornn to back him up.
Top it off with the Kale ulti. Don't forget about that. That's going to
Mhm.
be a very important thing, a very important asset in terms of trying to counter Suniz and No Hands' planned composition, which was that dive comp with the Diana, the Shen, and with the Kale ulti. That just makes these dive comps even harder. So there is a chance that Suniz No Hands' composition can backfire immensely. So we'll see what they can do. What are their options? When can they go for these kind of plays? But for now, it does seem like Renekton Gators do have that very strong disengage, and then a possibly even stronger re-engage with
Mhm.
that Horn, the Pantheon stun. So many options to work with.
But what is good to mention is the strength that Milio has into a lot of the early game that Renekton Gators wants to accomplish. The Xin Zhao, the Pantheon. Milio has a ridiculous, almost overloaded amount of disengage by this point. And so we should really be hoping to see this Milio pick disengage off the Pantheon, disengage off the Xin Zhao, allow them to pick up these early dragons and hopefully even the early heralds to accelerate their lead. Otherwise, we'll likely be seeing a pretty quick and decisive game of just simple scaling into just strong late game team fighting from Renekton Gators here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be reliant onto the Emilio. Not even just for the cleanse, just so much utility, especially with the W, especially with the E. It's just so much of that utility. But then again, the cleanse might not be as valuable because there's not really many things this Emilio can cleanse. Maybe like Nephilius root, Pantheon stun, maybe a couple slows, but most of the CC coming in from the Gators is definitely knockups. Like we got the Ornn knockups and Zaus single target knockups. So like those kinds of crowd control can be useful in taking out a key target in Suniz No Hands, but again, it all comes down to these skirmishes, all these team fights. See uh, how both these teams play around their compositions. It's going to be definitely something to look at when analyzing these fights that probably will happen. Hopefully, it's not going to be like LCK where everyone's farming for 15 minutes.
And if Soon as No Hands wants to win, I would definitely say that they want to look for those fights, especially when we know that Diana has a really strong one item power spike, Syndra has a pretty strong one item power spike, Lucian with Milio, they have really strong power spikes that come up even before one item. We should be seeing Shen trying to bully Orin especially, if as much as possible, and trying to punish their bot lane and the top lane. It might be a little harder to punish Kale here because of the fact un- unless they want to use a lot of resources from Diana and Syndra, because once Kale hits 6, she'll have the invulnerability. But Syndra's push will allow for a lot of future playmaking potential that should be looked for as early as possible from Suniz No Hands.
Yeah, not only just like roaming down lanes or going for all that. It's not even. It doesn't even have to be that big. Just pushing the mid wave in like very early in the game. It allows for so much vision control in the river, which is very important when you're trying to go for those dragon plays, going for those herald takes. It opens up a lot more options for Suniz No Hands if the Syndra can perma push the wave, just deny Kale from making any plays anywhere else on the map, which definitely will happen because naturally, if you put the Syndra and the Kale head to head, Syndra has more wave clear, has more AoE abilities. Kale, the only AoE ability she has is Q. Maybe, like by the time she's like level 11, the E will also be AoE, but at that time, waiting stage is already over. So Syndra needs to get on top of pushing the wave, giving his team the room they need to try to go for these early objectives, because right now it seems like that is their only option in terms of winning this game number 1.
Another thing to quickly mention is when it comes down to general team composition, although Suniz No Hands has a really strong AoE combo between Diana and Syndra, one key thing that has to be mentioned here is the fact that the Diana, the Syndra, and even the Shen, to a lot of extent, have a lot of magic damage in the team comp. And what this means is that when your top side is this magic damage oriented, you'll likely be seeing Sin Zhao or Kale hopefully picking up some early MR to survive this laning phase and allow themselves to build up a bigger lead. Whether this is Kale going just early MR with early MR runes, or maybe a conditioning later on, and Sinzao should be looking to pick up a Hex Drinker in some time in this game.
And we'll see. We're gonna actually go into a quick break. When we come back, we will be on the riff for game number 1, so don't go anywhere, and we'll see if as soon as No Hands can take control early, or will I'm forgetting the or what? Yes,
Renekton Gators.
yeah, Renekton Gators. I screwed this up so badly. Oh my god. Anyway, we're gonna go into a break. We'll be back for game number 1. welcome back. Game number 1 in this spring semester showdown. The first of ever, I think. But here we go. Game number 1 between Suniz No Hands versus the Renekton Gators.
All right,
And we are off to the start.
We see Suniz No Hands going for a relative basic fan just to get some good early game information.
Yep.
Dwangmo seems to be a little late, but it's fine.
He's a little late to the party tonight. His team's got it. They got that solid 5-point. Deny any invade potential. Also, I mean, invades are always annoying. Like, I don't know why. Every time I 5-man flex, like a reg flex, they always go for an invade. It doesn't. I don't understand. Like, without fail, every game starts with a level 1 invade. They eventually. I mean, it's fun, but they eventually lose the game. But you know, it's a little annoying. You know.
But it's for the fun, Dan. It's
It
for
is
the
true.
fun.
It's true. It's not fun when you get jumped on. You know.
Well, that's the
I
whole
feel
point.
like it's also even it's also even worse if the invade doesn't go well. You know.
Alright.
A little extra tilting, but either way.
Interesting
Looks
try,
like
but
Dwangmo will actually solo on the top side, but Suman, I assume that's how you say his name. He's gonna get a little leash, get a little helping hand from Coco B. Actually opts for the ignite instead of the teleport, which we normally see on this Shen.
the ignite on the Shen is likely this. We want to see with the ignite on the Shen, we want to see him looking for this potential solo kill potential on the Ornn. Both junglers starting from top side is really interesting. We might be seeing an early play bot side because of this. Either the Sid Zhao trying to work with the Pantheon to try to develop these early leads and help their team snowball towards that late game, or we'll see Diana trying to work to punish this Aphelios, as we mentioned before.
Yeah, right now, yeah. I don't know if anyone noticed the pathing for Dwangmo. He does go for the buff Gromp start. Does get him to that level 3, I believe. Yeah. We'll take out that Gromp. Will be level 3. Meanwhile, Suman is actually going for a full clear this time around. Probably definitely normal for a Diana. The Xin Zhao definitely wants to look for a play level 3. Look, as you can see, he's already pathing towards that mid lane, towards Totally Not Lucy. We'll see if Totally Not Lucy will figure out this riddle. Now he sees the Xin Zhao. Totally Not Lucy does have the flash available, but he might be able to save it, and looks like he will survive the gank versus the Xin Zhao. There's even a lot of minions to work with for Totally Not Lucy. We did point out that the way this Syndra can just be annoying in this lane is just be an absolute nuisance, just hard pushing the wave. And I say that as Suman, it's his turn to look for some sort of play. Gonna look onto Tuoni. I don't even know how you say it, but he's already dead, so that's gonna be first blood. Storm Fury, Suman might trade his life for it. The ignite actually doesn't kill him. Storm Fury just one more auto away and just barely gets away. Toasty, grateful that he is alive. And that's gonna be an early lead for Suniz No Hands.
And this is
I say that, and Totally Not Lucy is gonna get ganked one more time. Dwangmo trying to just beckon the Syndra to use Flash, and Zikatari will be the one to influence the Syndra to Flash.
But honestly, is the Flash trade mid even worth it? Because as of now, when you're pre-6 on this scale, when you're a melee champion, it's very risky for you. With the Diana coming back here, there's a very good chance that when Syndra comes back, she'll look to back here and TP, and then look maybe with this with Suman here, and look for this mid lane punish on this flashless scale.
But now there is a lot of information in favor of Suniz No Hands. There's no summoners towards that bottom side of the map, and this Diana can just hang around, look for any openings, look for any potential for a gank, but yeah, we'll take that Scuttlecraft for the time being, and literally what I said, he's hanging around, hovering around that bot side, knows the Aphelios and the Pantheon both do not have flash.
What's also really important to mention is the fact that that first blood kill went onto the Lucian, which pairs so well with Milio, and because of this strong pairing getting an early lead, there's a very high chance that this could this could be a very strong win condition for Suniz no hands.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, look at that harass coming in from Totally Not Lucy. Duangmo actually getting to the party on time. We'll be able to spot out Suman. I believe he saw him in that jungle. That bottom lane. So no big skirmish fight happening just yet. As they both retreat back into their jungles.
And another thing to quickly mention was specifically the early game clear speed of Diana, which we saw earlier and is about to show its potential now, where now with all the camps respawning for Diana, Suman is just going to get a huge XP and gold lead over the Sin Zhao Duangmo.
Actually, it's gonna be a relatively slow early game. Other than that first blood happening down in the bot lane, nothing really too important has happened at the time for the time being. But all the solo laners do get their ultimates up and ready. Horn and Hail Judgment. I think that's the ultimate name. Let me just fact check that.
Divine Judgment.
Divine Judgment.
Judgment.
I was close.
Yeah.
I was close.
Mhm.
I usually get them all, but you know, there's that one or two ultimates that I don't really know. It's a sad life I live as a caster.
As of
Anyway.
now, we're approaching the 7-minute mark. Both junglers keeping not having any interest in this dragon. But at the same time, there's a very high chance that both teams should be interested in this Herald. Soon as no hands should be looking for it to extend their lead, and besides for that, we have on Renekton Gators a really strong skirmishing combo between Sin Zhao and Kale. They should definitely look to respond if that's the case.
And again, also the Herald could be that main focus for both these junglers. It is spawning relatively soon. But we'll see what the plan is for both these junglers. Suman actually going to reveal himself towards that top side. He's going to get spotted out by a controller, but Duangmo is actually around, but knowing that Phase X Wizard sees the Diana pulling up, will just promptly back away. Meanwhile, that pesky little ward going to spot him out for a little play onto Totally Not Lucy. Doesn't have the flash up just yet. And it seemed like Duangmo was trying to look for some sort of timing. For now, this top lane though, we need to touch up a little bit on this matchup. Kogobi is actually 20 CS behind against this Ornn. But other than that, they've just been, you know, in their own little island, just farming away.
What is good to mention here is that it seems like Phase X Wizard here is really using these wave states to build up waves and develop these advantageous trades to help him gain the CS lead, to be able to create timers where he's able to do all sorts of stuff. He might look mid here. No, he's just looking for the ward.
A flash going to be used by Storm Fury. Anticipating a Xin Zhao follow-up, just respects the potential damage coming in from these members of the Gators. And just out of respect, will just flash relatively early. That's kind of big as a low-range AD carry. And you don't have flash for these big team fights, which could happen with this dragon take, but Suman hanging around. Knows Duangmo might be in the area. It's a matter of what can you do. Totally Not Lucy still pushing down this wave.
But to quickly mention, Totally Not Lucy does not have a lot of mana here. This play is really risky.
Wait a minute, yeah, it's going to be very risky. A 3v3 skirmish. There's the Grand Skyfall coming in. Storm Fury doesn't have to flash, needs to get away, but Suman absolutely gets blown up in that back line. And the Gators will finally clamp down onto this Diana, and they probably could get Dragon, but they want to hunt for more kills. Duangmo actually not too very healthy. Will just instead back away, but Storm Fury gonna get caught off guard. The cleanse coming in from Emilio, not gonna be enough to save that Lucian.
And that was really huge for the Renekton Gators here. The gold swings finally into their favor as a scaling team comp. And we see those kills going onto the Pantheon, going onto the Aphelios, and really allowing to them to enable their early game
Ooh,
skirmishing
wait a
and
minute.
their
An
late game team
extended
fighting.
trade happening in the top side. Kokobi, good flash from the Oran Horn, but he's got Suman. But Suman is a little late to the party. We'll have the double dash ready to go, but Phasix Wizard will try to flash away, but Suman replies with his own. And slowly but surely, this game is starting to look a little more interesting. A couple more kills starting to come in on both sides. But knowing that Suman is in the top side, Dwangmo immediately pinging that dragon, going straight onto it. And we'll see what Suman's response is. The Herald is likely. And it looks like Dwangmo knows that.
Oh no.
And now,
Oh
he's
no,
flaming.
not
Oh, now
that
he's
top
flaming.
laner. The top laner experience, by the way. Suman taking the whole wave. That was in a good spot to honestly freeze.
Uh-oh. Totally not Lucy. There's a very close Pantheon on him. See if he's able to get away. Yeah. Gonna respect the potential follow-up coming in from Suniz no hands. They will spare the Syndra, albeit at around 60% HP.
But yeah, it does seem to be an objective trade between the Herald for Suniz no hands and the Dragon for Renekton Gators. This is generally good for both sides. Both sides are getting what they want, so it's really about who's able to use their resources better.
Phasix Wizard not quite respecting Sumon's early Herald take from earlier. There's a Moonfall coming in. Is there going to be enough damage to kill this Ornn? He's known to be tanky, and he will continue to be known just as that. Will be able to just walk away from the damage. Didn't even have flash or anything, but it's going to allow, as soon as no hands, to use his Herald towards the top side, get a little money, get a little extra money into their bank accounts.
Really good for Dwayne to cover that. Making sure that the Ornn is allowed to stay under the tower and farm that wave.
Just that little extra details coming in. See Katari, uh-oh, he's not in a good spot. Not even a chance to use his ultimate. And totally not Lucy, he has his flash back up. So he's gonna be fine. Ooh, the Stand United. Got a little scary. Got a little scary. But just for that extra safety, Kokobi going to use his ultimate as a TP essentially.
So what a good thing to mention right now is that the gold is dead even, which is as of now, this game is really even. Both sides have a lot of good playmaking. We're seeing item spikes getting reached on both sides. However, even gold will be fine as most of these champions hit their first item. By about 3 or 4 items, if there is even gold in the game, you should expect Renekton Gators to be coming out really on top of most of these fights.
It's all going to come down to the macro, and speaking of that macro, going to be a little bit of a lane swap coming in from Suniz no hands. Totally not Lucy going to be the one to deal with this tanky Ornn. Has that Sunfire done. Ooh. A little bit of damage coming in from Totally not Lucy. Does have that Wooden's Echo, or Wooden's Tempest, sorry, coming in. Does also have a couple stacks of Dark Seal. Just, you know, just there, get some extra stats.
What's also interesting to point out is that the Ornn has, Phasix Wizard has opted for the Sunfire early, looking for this early damage, this early trading power, so that he can extend a potential lead in his lane. However,
no, we're just. I mean, all I was gonna say is just we're just gonna enter that into a slower state of the game. Dragon is definitely coming up in a minute and a half, so we could see the supports trying to roam up, get some vision in that river side, but for now everything seems to be slowing down for just a little longer. Get that farm, try to get those items down before the next fight.
what is important to mention is, as of now, the dragon is spawning in a minute, And with this, we have item spikes on a lot of people right now. We have Gore Drinker on Sinzao.
Suman
Oh.
coming in for a little surprise for this Ornn. The Ornn Horn going to be used. Is going to be interrupted. No, the Moonfall still available for Suman. Will he end up using it? He doesn't even need it. The Gnash's Tooth. The attack speed is just enough to kill him off. And now the question is, can Suniz no Hands get to this dragon in time?
What's really important there is that the Ornn, if he is coming for this dragon, which he probably
Oh,
shouldn't,
whoa,
has no
whoa.
ulti. Oh,
That's a wild Pantheon in the top lane.
interesting.
Grand Skyfall going to be used. That it signifies ThatOneDan going to be way alone. The back massage coming out, and the entire roster of his summoner spells from ThatOneDan will be used to get away. But like, they had the Dragon Prio, the Gators. They had priority, and now it's just going to be Dwangmo all alone. This dragon, they had the priority, they had the chance to go for it, but OC instead wanted to hunt down Suman, and now they just end up losing control over it.
We'll see if Suniz no Hands looks for this dragon.
Yeah, they can definitely capitalize. None of them. The only problem is none of them really have red trinket other than Suman, and they will clear some of this vision, but they know damn well that they're on this dragon. And totally not Lucy, he's got the priority to go for it. He should be patting down. They don't even need him. Second dragon going to be answered back. And there we go. 17 minutes into the game, both dragons going to be taken. And now it's going to be a Hex, the Hex Dragon rift on the field. Sound like a drifter from Destiny when I say that. X Gates on the field.
Ornn did get something back in the top lane. He did get a tower, but
oh, whoa. Okay, you don't even have time to talk.
Ooh.
Okay, never mind. You do have time to talk. There we go.
All right, just a quick disengage from Totally Not Lucy. However, we're seeing a standoff in the mid lane. Ooh.
Yeah, there's a bit of a standoff. Then gonna whiff on this W. Oh, a good flash predict coming in from Phase X Wizard. That's gonna net them a kill onto this Diana.
That's
what
huge.
A play coming from them.
With the Diana having no flash and still going down, this might set them up for currently Justice Farm, but we should be looking for a potential objective in the future.
Flash forward coming in from Toasty. Saren. A little late on the reaction, but it's good enough. As Storm Fury. Oh wow, what a chunk! One more Q and Storm Fury is dead. He's gonna respect the possible Q flying out from Toasty. It's gonna call some assistance in the form of Totally Not Lucy. And that's actually a big cooldown use. That's gonna send a lot of people towards the bottom side of the jungle. Dwangmo definitely has an angle to go for this Rift Herald.
But what is interesting is that Suniz no Hands might be looking for a lane swap here. A lane swap here is we are reaching that mid game stage where it could be a strong idea for the bot lanes. Both bot lanes want to have impact on the map, so we should be seeing both bot lanes move to this mid lane and trying to influence upcoming objective fights. Even though the Herald is about to despawn in about 45 seconds. Oh, speaking of which, Sinzao is Dwangmo is going for it.
Yeah, he's hitting that Rift Herald. Realizes that he doesn't have much time. Does call in Phase X Wizard to help him out. We'll see if they have enough time. They should be able to take this, no problem. But it's gonna cut a little close on that timer for that Baron coming up in 30 seconds. And they do manage to get it. They could group up mid. They could try to siege, but they're gonna hold on to it. Just wait for. Oh my god! The little extra damage coming from first strike really coming in clutch there.
And
then add another solo kill for Totally Not Lucy.
And these solo kills are really important for the Syndra because when Syndra. Oh
wait, Toasty wants to say something about it, but he's the only person jumping on this Syndra, so he's not really going to be doing much. Oh, wait a minute. Uoni is a little alone. Nice Q coming in from the Melio. It's gonna be an absolute explosion from Suniz No Hands. They will try to escape from this Ornn. They will do, but oh, is this TP gonna come in? Yes, it will, and the turret still falls. And see Katari coming into lane with only 50% HP. As the rest of the team trying to just defend from this middle lane push.
But what's really important to mention as of now is that we do see this Syndra already past at 110 splinters. We should be seeing Syndra about to power spike soon with the full splinter stacks and just having full lane control on this Kayle until Kayle hits 16. So for the next 5 minutes, really we should be expecting to see a lot of domination on this side lane from this Syndra on Suniz No Hands.
Ooh, Dwang mode. He's been trying all game to try to look for a play in the mid lane, and he hasn't been able to do anything. I kind of feel bad. Like, he's been trying to just get onto Totally Not Lucy, but Totally Not Lucy is doing so well in just having that knowledge of a wild Zinzao in the lane, and is able to just counter it accordingly. But now, focus does come onto the Hex Dragon.
What's really important to mention here is that it seems like the Renekton Gators do have almost full control on this vision, but as of now, the blue trinket and the control ward still not getting
aggro
cleared.
push coming in from Storm Fury. It's gonna force the ultimate coming in from Amelia. The Moonfall was almost huge. Tuoni was able to flash react in time, and now Storm Fury, look at him, he's gonna get jumped on. He's 1 HP, he can't really do much damage anymore. Kokobi coming into the fight with the Stand United. And no one goes down, but most importantly,
that's a really low
HP
Lucian.
ADC, yeah. No ADC for Suniz No Hands for the time being. Kokobi trying to do his best to stall. But then again, this mid wave is forcing the Gators to be a little bit separated, not be in position for this dragon. Everyone's staring at that dragon right now.
And this is what, when it comes to objective setup, we are seeing Suniz No Hands doing a good job pushing out the mid wave, developing this vision, and now they're straight onto it.
Yeah, they're gonna straight go right onto this dragon. And like I said, they're pushing the waves thoroughly, they're getting the priority they need. The mid wave and this bottom wave need to be absolutely in check, need to be in their priority in order to go for these objectives securely. And that is exactly what they do. Playing thoroughly, playing to their strengths. And it's going to be a wild Rift Herald.
What's really interesting here is that we see Renekton Gators opting in for this two-lane strategy to try to... It seems that they, as of now, they're probably going to have Kayle redeploy into the bot lane to allow them to have this 1-3-1 setup going on to match Suniz No Hands, but they're having Kayle to quickly farm out some of the jungle camps to get that XP, to get that quick gold, to hopefully finish a few items. But still, we do see this huge gold advantage that's separating between, that's starting to develop between the Syndra and the Kayle, between the Lucian and the Aphelios. Their leads on Suniz No Hands are becoming really evident, and they need to continue to push these leads if they want to win the game.
FaZe X Wizard in a little bit of trouble. Should be able to get away. Good slow coming in from FaZe X Wizard. And then now next focus for Suniz No Hands is definitely going to be that Baron. Do they actually see Wangmo in the bottom side? They did see him kill a ward. That's gonna force them to start this Baron.
Katari does have
know
TP.
about this. They know about this. FaZe X Wizard does have the Ornn Horn ready to go. And the bait is successful, but look at Z Katari. He's just split pushing down the bottom side. He does have teleport to join the fight at any given moment. So this Baron is going to be very risky for Suniz no hands, and they're going to call it off for the time being.
But they gotta start something soon. Katari is going unresponded to right now. This level 15 Kale is just free farming in the bot lane.
Yeah, and looks like they want to look for a play onto FaZeX Wizard. He does have the Jack Show. It's going to be just that little tankier. Toasty now coming in for the fight, but he is forced to flash away for disengage. Good Moonfall coming in, but he's stunned under tower. Totally not Lucy trying to do something, and the Unleashed power is timed perfectly, and that signals the fall of Renekton Gators as 3 go down with no response, and that's going
That
to be
should be Baron.
Yeah, that should be, and it probably will be. And there we go. Well played, coming in from Suniz no hands. Just making plays all across the map, and Tuoni needs to look for some sort of desperation steal. Puts down the Aphelios turret. It's going to start whacking away, but it's going to despawn. And there it is. Purple buff going to Suniz no hands.
This is generally the best chance that Suniz no hands has of ending the entire game. Kale is about to hit 16. We do see the 2 items getting hit by Aphelios. If Suniz no hands wants to have a strong chance of winning this game, they want to look to end with on this Baron buff or build up such a huge lead that it becomes hard to come back. For the same thing to be for Renekton Gators, all they need to do is really hold off this push and wait for that next dragon if possible.
And right now, they're just going to try to pile as many people as possible in this mid lane. Try to siege for something, get some value out of that Baron buff. They will be able to get this turret successfully, just barely. We'll be able to do it with the empowered cannon minion. Good dodge coming in from Storm Fury from that knockup. And a little bit of extra damage coming in from him. The back massage going to take down this Aphelios to about 40%. And again, Zikatari down that bot lane, trying to split push as much as he can. But yeah, he's level 16. Gonna immediately respond with the teleport towards the top lane. Should be able to clear this wave successfully. Oh, look at this mid lane. Oh, good stun. That's gonna be a free pick. And then Suman, it's his turn to go in. Trying to go for something. The Moonfall again is phenomenal, and that's going to be the dominoes just falling down. Another great stun coming in from Totally Not Lucy. And blink and you miss it. 4 members of the Gators are down. And Suniz no hands are knocking on the door. Yeah, the kill ulti going to be used, but it's going to try to do something but the Stand United just to keep Totally Not Lucy alive, and he won't go down. And the next turrets go down first, and it's gonna be game number 1 going over to Suniz no hands 2.
Phenomenal game between Totally Not Lucy getting those 2 critical solo kills to build up that lead. We have Suman building up that lead from generally ganking the top side. We have Storm Fury getting that first kill and being able to push that lead, and even just having the Shen just to round up the top side to make sure that there were no easy weak points. I think there has to be something that has to be changed in this draft.
That was just really well played coming in from Suniz no hands. They were using the lanes very well to try to get that priority, getting onto those objectives, and just absolutely slowly but surely running over the game. Totally Not Lucy just absolutely bullying this Kale in the mid lane, netting him 2 solo kills, just stacking so many items, and essentially took over the game.
And just to quickly announce that that Renekton Gators have chosen blue side for the next game. So this will change a bit of the draft dynamic. That could mean that the Diana gets to go over to what is it? Xtari, right?
I believe it was Dwayne.
No, not Xtari.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Oh.
Dwayne might be able to pick up the Diana. We might be able to see maybe or if that gets banned, maybe something like the Yone or the Aurelia being opened up for Xtari. But that's for game 2, I guess.
Yeah, we will see what the plan is for game number 2. For now, we will take that short break, and we'll get into draft for game number 2 when we do come back.
Bye.
強く強く輝いて消えた流れ星ほら命が燃える何かに怯え走り続けたその虚しさのしじまに何を見て何を探してきた
Alright. Welcome back for the second game of Renekton Gators versus Suniz No Hands. We have Renekton Gators on the blue side. They have already started the ban phase. We
Yep,
have
there we go.
Ari.
We can see it now. Hello.
Alright.
This is a very chaotic start, but you know this is normal.
Yes, they are eager to get into that second game, it seems. We have Ari, Fiddlestick, Syndra banned from the Renekton Gators. We have Yone, Diana, and Mordekaiser banned from
Ooh,
Renekton Gators.
Diana. Actually,
Renekton Gators banning the Syndra as respect for the last game's performance. We do see the Diana get taken away on the blue side by Suniz No Hands. Still, the Yone and the Mordekaiser stay banned.
it's gonna cause a lot of disruption for both these teams with that Diana being off the table. But I'm sure Suman isn't gonna mind it too much.
Might
Probably has
look
a lot more junglers at his arsenal.
could look for that Kha'Zix that was previously banned, but now with the respect ban towards Syndra, there is the chance for a Kha'Zix. It is the Olaf, which is
Could be an
likely
Olaf
going.
top. Could be Olaf top. You never know.
Yeah. Last time I was mistaken, I might be mistaken again, but looking at Sumon's previous history, there's a very high chance we do have an Olaf in the jungle here. Lux locked up. It's a flex pick for the support and the mid lane.
As much as I do like that Zinzao pick coming in from the Gators, it's hasn't really given them a whole lot. We've seen in game number one, D Wang, it might D Wangmo. It might, I think that's how you pronounce it. Either way, but he was trying to look for plays around the map, just wasn't able to find anything. Was trying to camp the Syndra, aka Totally Not Lucy, and he was just able to just absolutely outplay the jungler, just denying him from any playmaking potential, and he kind of just didn't exist for the rest of the game.
But it does seem like the Renekton Gators are going for a different approach here. We do see the Aurelia pairing up with the Sinzao instead of the Kale. We're looking for the Ezreal here. These are much higher kill. There's much higher kill potential with this mid lane specifically. The bot lane does very depend on the support, so we will see that more in round two. But as of now, definitely a shift of pace of the game that Renekton Gators want to see in this game two.
Interesting draft coming in from Suniz No Hands. They have a very, very squishy backline with this Sona and the Lux. And with that Sona being locked in, it kind of gives away the fact that this Lux is going to go towards the mid lane.
However, there was that Lux Sona strategy from a few years ago. I don't think it might be played here.
There's
but
no way. There's no way.
It would be pretty optimal for the helping and accelerating the Olaf if we do see this Lux Sona go towards the bot lane. However, it is very likely going to be put in the mid lane.
See how that turns out as the Pantheon, played by Toasty, going to be respectfully banned by Suniz No Hands. Same goes for Coco Bees, Shen.
And
Both of them were pretty important.
Oh, it looks like it's not Lux Sona, but it is a Seraphine Sona.
Not the Sona squared bot lane. It's the Sona squared bot lane being played by Suniz No Hands. They are. I don't know if I. Is this? Would you say this is dishonorable in a sense?
It's.
Because essentially, for Suniz No Hands, as long as they survive the early mid game, they just win the game. Straight up.
However, to quickly mention, it does feel like this comp is very reliant on the Olaf's early game. If Olaf right now falls behind, even if Seraphine Solo get to that point in the late game, Olaf might not be able to carry. So we should be looking for a carry on the top side
Soon
into
as
this Garen.
yeah, soon as no hands, they desperately need a front line. This Olaf cannot front line on his own, especially with a Zinzao potentially jumping on them, the Nautilus knocking up everyone, Garen just running around. As same goes with the Aurelia, but instead of running, the Aurelia is dashing. So as soon as no hands, they need to figure out a solution, and
And there it
Darius
is.
is a very good solution to this frontline problem.
It seems like soon as No Hands has a very dead set goal, they're going to let their bot lane get kicked in as much as they want. They're going to focus towards this Olaf Darius top side. Look for those 2v2 skirmishes between Garen Sinzao and Olaf Darius, which Olaf Darius will have a very good chance of winning in this early game. And then being able to develop that lead and convert it with the supports into a really powerful death ball. On the side of Renekton Gators, we need to be able to we need to see some very strong kill pressure coming in from the Ezreal, the Nautilus, the Sinzao, even the Aurelio roaming out of mid lane to go and punish this bot lane as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
Another thing worth mentioning though, you might want to take a closer look at the damage output coming in from the Renekton Gators, and you can easily figure out they all do physical damage, which could cause a bit of problems in terms of trying to take out a target when all they do is stack armor.
It is true that Irelia and Ezreal do a percentage of their damage in Magic. However, all of their champions are auto attack based, which means that when Olaf and Darius pick up that plated steel caps or whatever you guys call it, it's
Ninja
probably
Tabby played
I
it.
will.
Ninja Tabby. I'm gonna keep calling it tabbies.
If you want to
I'm
call it
just
tabbies,
used to
call it
it.
tabbies. But if they that second they pick up that item, they will feel really, really tanky and even more amplified once they get those supports online.
Yeah, and like you said, if once those supports do get online, when Seraphine does hit that 2 item power spike, it, like just from that sheer amount of utility alone, it's bad. It's gonna be bad for Renekton Gators trying to take out a target, especially with when, like you said, all of them are auto attack based. They're gonna just try to just whittle them down, but it's just gonna be that extra harder when everyone, possibly everyone, could go for those plated steel caps.
And right now, what it's really obvious that Soon as No Hands wants to be able to extend this top side. But what can Renekton Gators do? The most important thing I want to be seeing here is that the Sinzao doesn't ask for a leash from bot lane. Needs to start he should be starting top side and looking to gank bot side as soon as possible, or he can start bot side and look for bot side immediately. Irelia should be looking to push lanes, um, probably show up around level 6, anytime level 6, post level 6 with that ultimate and looking to commit to a tower dive with this Nautilus. This Sona Seraphine should be getting punished as much as they can, and tracking this Olaf is extremely important. Wherever this Olaf goes, he's going to try to bring a lead with him.
Yep. Even if he doesn't get a lead, there's always a chance that this Olaf can just, just hang back, split, or maybe not split push, but just try to look for any kind of openings. He could just farm away, but he is going to be very important, like you said earlier, in terms of early game. If this Olaf doesn't have a lead, soon as no hands, we'll be in a lot of trouble in the later stages of the game. And that's exactly what Soon as No Hands needs to do. They need to just absolutely bunker down, turtle this game. Just wait for the Seraphine, wait for the Sona, just to get those items, just to help out this Olaf
And
and the
what's a
rest of the team, essentially.
and what's a really important thing to mention is even with the necessity to gank this Seraphine Sona, to set the Seraphine behind, to make sure she can't be buffing the Olaf and Darius when they get into this mid-game fights, it is really important that um we should be seeing that you have to respect the Seraphine Sona's ability once they hit 6 to peel themselves under these under even in a tower dive situation. So Renekton Gators, they do need to dive this ball lane. They need to punish it. However, they need to make sure that they do it smartly and in a way that allows them to actually minimize their losses.
And we'll see if that that is exactly what they do. For now, we will once again. I feel like we've done this a lot already. We will go into that break again. And with that, we will come back once we get onto the rift for game number 2 of this best of 3 series. Welcome back again. This time, game number 2 of this best of 3 series versus... I don't know why I said versus earlier. It's going to be the Gators versus Suniz no hands, and the Gators start lurking in the river like actual Gators in real life.
And they go for the invade. It's a mix-up of strategy. We are seeing some adaptation this game, but I'm pretty sure they were spotted by the Lux.
Yep, the Lux saw something. They see a wild Ezreal, and it's safe to assume that the rest of the team is right behind them. And they do get some early vision, though. So it's decent information in favor of the Gators. I see we got the TFT Lux skin in play. That's always a fun thing to see.
What's really important to mention right now is what we should be expecting to see in these lanes. As of now, historically, Darius has been a good matchup into Garen. So as of now, we should be seeing Coco B punishing FaceX Wizard. We should be seeing Irelia getting the push early into this, into Totally Not Lucy. Qatari should be looking to try to maybe punish or just out push and maybe even kill the Lux. And then on the bot side, until a certain extent, as we should see Tony and Toasty looking for good 2v2s.
Oh boy.
However, it is important to mention that Seraphine Sona has a surprisingly good trade.
I just want to point out the amount of mastery spams in this top lane. Coco B and FaZe Wizard just having a grand old time. They're just vibing, flashing their masteries. Always fun to
Showing
see
that top lane dominance.
Indeed, as some early game leveling spikes coming in. The Sona squared combination do get that level 2 first, but Toasty fishing for a hook. With that positioning, oh, and he gets a melee creep. Oh no, that's gonna put him at half HP.
And that's the Sona Seraphine trading combo. It is not to be underestimated. Even though we call this a scaling lane, it is still really powerful what that damage combo is.
It's stun coming from Qatari, but the trade does come out even. D-Wangmo coming in for a gank. And Coco B in a bit of trouble trying to get as many stacks onto this Garen as possible, but a flash for flash trade going to be used. But this damage coming in from Coco B with the full Conquer stacks is doing a bit of work. And he's just going to hold his ground. That did force to use flash. Ooh, look at this flash of movement coming in. Qatari with a revenge first blood onto Totally Not Lucy. And now there's going to be a quick engagement happening in the jungle as D-Wangmo going to get cut down by Suman.
That's what that's if you're a fan of Suniz No Hands, that is really important for that Olaf to get up the kill. Similarly for Renekton Gators, that kill for the Aurelia is extremely important, allowing her to establish control in that lane and develop that priority and potentially look for these skirmishes with their for jungler or looking to dive the spot lane.
And this Aurelia matchup into this Lux is honestly just a really good matchup. This Lux is not the most mobile champion nowadays. And it's gonna be easy for Qatari to just land these stuns, go for that combo, go for that all-in potential. And we saw that in that engagement. Good hook though coming in from Toasty, but oh my god, look at that utility. It's absolutely disgusting. I said I was gonna flame Brian, aka Storm Fury, for if he does int, but I might flame him anyway just for playing this comp alone. I don't know, man.
It is a little bit of a disrespectful comp, but you
it works.
Do what you can do to win.
It's not like I'm gonna stop them, but I'm just gonna be like, oh, they played that comp.
But we will see here Dwangmo looking potentially for a gank or for the Drake with this.
Oh my god, great Coco B. Oh my god, okay. Didn't expect a solo kill to come out of that, but when you're playing into a Darius, you never go for extended trades, and that's exactly what FaZe Wizard didn't want to be in. And yeah, a solo kill coming in for Coco B.
And most importantly, these kills going onto the Darius, going onto the Olaf, we might be seeing a few early armor pickups maybe, unless they go for the mythic items, which are still equally as powerful. Plated steel caps picked up on this Darius. It will be really, really hard. He might even just straight up win the 1v2s now when the jungle, when Dwaymo tries to come and tries to shut down Kokobi.
Ooh, knife gonna be used. Interesting move. I guess just keep Totally Not Lucy at bay, at killing range. That's gonna provide a lot of priority for this mid lane. And what can you do with priority? You're gonna get a dragon.
And this is the main benefit
of
of
Vanguard's Edge going to be used, but a good root! And no mana for this. Irelia is forced to flash away from the tower. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Toasty wants to look for an engagement as Suman waiting in the wings, but he is seen and is well communicated to the side of the Gators as they will promptly back away.
Still, it is good to see signs of life from the Renekton Gators. Dwaymo recognizing the fact that his bot priority was significant enough that it could generate that timer to solo the dragon. We have currently a little bit of a oh, okay, sorry. Dwaymo is a okay, he's just he's doing stuff. He's doing stuff.
He's doing something, but Kokobi wants to throw some things into the mix. I thought he was gonna go for something, but the only thing he does is drop a ward, and it's gonna get immediately cleared. But it does delay the clear of this Grump. And that's kind of significant because look at the jungle creep score. 34 to 57. That's not what you want to see, especially when you said this Olaf needs to get ahead as Qatari almost finishing off the Lux there, but
we have Kokobi.
Mo going to be flashing away from this ghosted up Darius. We'll go for the blue buff, but ThatOneDan not. And now Suman trying to zone away Qatari. But this Irelia is just being an absolute menace in this lane. Almost still killing Totally Not Lucy 2 separate times. Now here we go. A little play in the death charge. Gonna be popped. There's a lot of members of the Gators coming down, trying to swarm this bot lane of the Sona Squares. But the heal coming in. Storm Fury also has flash. Is there a hook available for Toasty? No, it looks like he will not have it in time. And the bot lane of Suniz No Hands survived the 4-man.
But what's important to mention here is that all the subs were burnt on both sides of both on Renekton Gators and on Suniz No Hands, which should be important for both teams to look for and exploit in the future.
Bit slow, trying to deny the cannon minion, but was not able to in time. But the response coming from Suniz No Hands, looking on the other side of the map. The Herald going to be just now slain by Suman. There's going to be some... go for more, trying to get more in the aggression, trying to hide this blue buff, but FaZe X Wizard is there. What can he really do? All he's got is the attack speed boots, and he's just gonna take away the blue buff just to deny it. But he's not gonna get any value out of that because Garen is manaless. So
hey, 100 gold is 100 gold.
True. According to the dictionary, that was a we take those moment. It's okay, it provides ability haste. He'll get some value out of it.
And to quickly mention, we have Qatari here, not only...
another hook into a Vanguard's Edge. Barrier going to be immediately used, but the slow keeps this Lux in auto attack range, and now Suman has the Ragnarok, wants to hunt down Qatari, and he will do just that. Wants to go for more, and a beautiful stun. The crescendo was insane coming in from the Sona, and the cleanup to avenge Totally Not Lucy's death. And they will do so quite swiftly.
critically, almost all of those kills, besides for one towards Sona, another kill for the Olaf, another kill for the Darius. This is really critical for snowballing these leads, for allowing them to build up this armor, to be able to stack armor into the mostly full AD comp of Renekton Gators. And most importantly, we do start to see that even the kill on the supports are really critical, with Moonstone getting picked up by Sona. Once we see that Leandri's and the
dangerous hook coming in from Toasty. That's gonna net them a kill. Oh, look at this. Look who's coming in. It's that Olaf, that pesky little Viking.
but no ult, no
2-0.
no ghost.
Yeah, no ult, no ghost. It's just there to soak the wave.
Quick thing to mention is that Qatari does have the call by, was looking to not only skirmish the Lux, but also just to simply farm up an advantage here.
The Ragnarok is available for Suman, but he's just gonna tank it. I think he should just keep autoing, but now he's now vulnerable to CC, and there he goes. True Shot Barrage, another kill going over to Toasty, and now Toonie is gonna get charmed up, but an instant Captain Jack cleanse coming in clutch for him, but Totally Not Lucy able to snipe away this Ezreal. Storm Fury, no flash for him, needs to run away to safety. This Sona has a red buff, and that's gonna get transferred over to Qatari. Now Totally Not Lucy trying to close, or open up that gap, I should say. And it looks like the Gators should be able to take this dragon.
A critical thing, the Olaf shutdown went to the Nautilus, so it is, to an extent, although the gold will be spent and accelerating.
We've seen this combo before, but it's not gonna kill off Totally Not Lucy again. This for that ain't good. He has flash. He's gonna dunk. He's gonna run away. Garen Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. And pressed like 3 buttons and he killed Deluxe, so this game is finally very easy.
We have FaZe X Wizard is on the board. When it does come down to it, we do see that Nautilus did take 2 kills, which is a bit unfortunate because even especially that it hasn't finished the mythic item. However,
okay, good timing coming in from D-Wang Mo to snipe away the Herald. We'll do just that. And then he's gonna go on his own way. Another thing to note, this match is a best of 3, and it's also a double elimination format. So, if any of these teams lose their match today, it's not going to be the end of the world. They still have a chance. Oh no, that's unlucky. Coco B tried to time the stacks. Wasn't able to in time. So the flash, kind of a little bit of a waste. Oh boy, X-Gate's on the field again.
If we're looking over on Renekton Gators, we have to be looking at this Aurelia, at this Garen, to be doing a lot of the work.
For a second. FaZe X Wizard gonna get jumped on. The Ghost is gonna be used. FaZe X Wizard doesn't have the execute of the ultimate, but Kokobi down to a sliver of HP, but Suman, he can just clean up the kill. Oh, good timing coming in from the speed up. Is gonna dodge away 1 axe. Can he do it again? No, he cannot. And that's gonna be an instant trade in favor of Qatari. Yeah, it's gonna be a solo kill again onto this Lux, and now this Sona gonna get jumped on by Toasty. Pop the Ignite, True Shot Barrage, not gonna quite hit the mark. But it's gonna give over, I believe, a mid-tower in favor of Renekton Gators, unless Suman wants to say something about it. Tries to do something about it, but can't do a whole lot. Dredgeline does connect, so does the Vanguard's Edge, and this Olaf doesn't have enough damage, and the auto attacks come in for Qatari. 5-1 on this Aurelia.
And there it is, the Aurelia getting the value that we need to be seeing from this Aurelia to outpace the Seraphine Sona, to outpace the Olaf, and really develop this kill pressure into a generally really scary team comp for Irelia to play into. But now when we see this strong of a lead on the Irelia, on actually really just the Irelia, but it's really important to that this game is going to really be decided by Z Katari either one way or the other.
Ooh, Coco B gonna get tested here. In a 1 versus 3 situation, can he even get out of this? Nope, not even a chance. The dunk comes in, and it's gonna be a Herald going to be popped towards that top side. There's already 3 members up there. There's no hands. They need to respond to this. They can't just let this happen. Suman can't defend all on his lonesome. And finally, some reinforcements do arrive. But it might be a little too late as the inhibitor tower will get chunked down. And right now, the Renekton Gators are definitely setting the tempo during this mid-game. Getting every single... Not even... Actually, no, not every single other turret. Still a bot turret up. They did get 2 turrets up in the top side. And now they're just trying to extend their lead as much as possible. 5k gold lead in favor of them.
What's really important to look at here is that the Renekton Gators do have this Hextech Dragon coming up in 2 minutes. They want to look to stack to push out their waves, to stack these dragons, to get this Hextech Soul, which will allow them to not be as easily kited by the Sona Seraphine combo, along with the ghosts on Olaf and Darius.
Good respect flash coming in from Storm Fury. Alright now. They don't have much damage on the bottom side of the map. The mythic item hasn't even been finished. And it seems like Storm Fury should be able to pick it up in this recall if he does manage to finish it. Does have enough time to work with. Still another minute left before this dragon spawns, but Storm Fury's recall gonna get denied once again.
What's also a little bit weird is that we have both the solo laners farming the mid lane on Suniz no hands. It's probably because they were intending to look for the dragon, but the dragon is not even close to spawning. The Darius needs to show up and respond to this top push before they can go and respond to this dragon play. Phase Wizard denying the top jungle.
Finally, the Wounds Tempest going to be finished for Storm Fury. Gonna help him a lot in terms of damage output.
Alright.
Both these teams starting to converge onto this dragon. But Storm Fury, he's forced to clear the top side of the jungle. Coco B actually going to be the one to be sent down. Hopefully, it's going to be enough damage to win this next team fight. But look at everyone else; they're starting to pile in. Dragon spawning right about now. And look at this death brush that's being set up by the Renekton Gators. No one taking the bait just yet. But we see damn close. Phase Wizard, yeah, he's
taking a split top lane.
He's splitting top lane. Does have to teleport in case they do look for a fight. But right now, it's gonna get started up by Suniz no hands. Good route onto the Zinzal and the slow as well to just keep him at bay. And again, with no vision, with no vision, it's gonna be they're gonna concede the dragon, but they need to furiously look for a recall. Phasex Wizard is just whacking away at the inhibitor. Can they get there in time? It seems like the answer might be no. Storm Fury trying to float away as fast as he can, but Phasex Wizard able to secure the inhibitor for his team. That's going to be super minions in the top lane for another 5 minutes. And look what it's done for them. The map is slowly losing control in the side of Suniz no hands. And another turret falls, and a third might fall even.
What's really important to mention though about early inhib takes like this inhib take at 19 minutes is the fact that you are, to some extent, if nothing happens, you are basically feeding 900 gold.
Coming in from Coco B. Phasex Wizard just gonna run away. Coco B left with no summoners and no kill.
But yeah. Most importantly, just to quickly mention about this inhibitor. it is really important to make sure not to let push your lead, to get at least a thousand gold of value off of that inhib, because when you take an inhib so early and if nothing happens, you are essentially feeding 900 gold into the enemy team.
Yep, and Kokobi will be reaping the benefits of this free 90 gold minion. Now the Baron going to be the main focus. There's already players of Renekton Gators. I almost said gamers. I mean, they are gamers, so it's not wrong. But either way, it's gonna be a Baron call. Yeah, they're gonna start whacking away at it. FaceX Wizard, uh-oh, he realizes this Lux has nothing to work with and is just gonna dunk on him. Uh-oh. That wasn't supposed to happen. Totally not Lucy beating death for what seems like the 5th time this game, and now they're gonna look for Baron, and they're gonna be able to zone off Suman, and they will be able to take this Baron for themselves.
And that's really, really important. Getting that gold advantage, allowing them to potentially look with this Baron to end as quickly as possible, to efficiently end.
Final Spark going to be used to try to clear out this minion wave, but with that magic damage resist in those Baron empowered minions, they're gonna still be whacking away. And now slowly but surely this game is slowly losing control on the side of Suniz No Hands. Already 9,000 gold behind. And it's only gonna get larger. Suniz No Hands, they need to start looking for something. FaceX Wizard being so slippery. And the response now is gonna be the mid lane. Kokobi needs to look for a good hook, but can't really do it. But the charm onto 3, he's gonna set things up. The dredge. Death Charge only going to go into Kokobi. He's going to be the one to go down first in this team fight. But look at this. Suman, he's running into them. He's trying to look for something, but the flash from Qatari is enough to keep them at bay. And everyone else on Suniz No Hands will fall. FaceX Wizard doesn't even get taken out. So many low health members on the side of Renekton Gators. And they should be able to just storm down this base. 5 for all 5 members alive.
And it just seems like this death ball feels really disconnected.
Uh-oh.
As we say, I don't think the Irelia seems very disconnected.
Hey, at least the Sonic gets a double kill. But the only problem is, game 2 is already over. And we're going to be forced to a decider game number 3. What do we think about that? First game of the tournament, and we're already going into a 3-game series.
That is honestly very impressive. Most importantly, we saw great gameplay from Qatari, from Toasty, to be able to find those engages, and we saw so many solo kills from Qatari this game. Truly just set them up for the success that we saw in this game.
What a game it's been for both these teams, and now they're at a standstill, a little bit of a standoff, and we're gonna have to figure out which of these teams will stay in the upper bracket and which one will be knocked down into the lower. And with that, we will head into a short break before we get into this game number 3. So don't go anywhere. Hello, welcome back. We're here for game 3 of Suniz no Han versus Renekton gamers. Gamers.
Gators. Renekton Gators.
And they
And
started draft, and that's why I'm already back. Or we're already back.
so, again, we have Yone and Mordekaiser getting banned away. The respect bans towards ex-Katari. We see, again, Artie Syndra getting banned away from Totally Not Lucy. And now you are up to date.
Yeah. There we go. This is the decider of the 3-game series, and this is also the very first match. Going all the distance, going to that deciding game number 3. Always exciting. One of these teams will remain in the upper bracket. This is a double elimination style tournament, and one of these teams will be knocked down into the lower bracket where they will fight for their tournament lives
While the
as they
other
try to go
one
for that run.
gets to play against Robbery in the match probably sometime in the future. That's for sure.
TBA.
And
And
again, we see the Sins out and the Aurelia getting picked up. They do seem very confident in this combo, and they want to allow it to be
they gotta
played
change
again.
it up. They gotta change up this mid lane matchup. The Lux didn't work out in game number 2. And it looks like Vagar will be the response. This is the nerfed version, so he does get a little less AP per stack.
However, Vigar has been historically a good champion into Aurelia, being able to use the cage to restrict the space of the Aurelia's dashes, and also being able to restrict the space of the Sin Zhao. A pretty solid pick. However, we're starting to see some common themes here with the double AP mid jungle on Suniz No Hands and the double AD on Renekton Gators. Janna picked up as a disengage tool.
Ooh, yeah. Definitely gonna cause a bit of problems with this early engage. Same goes with the Sinzo. They both like to dash onto their targets, and with someone to just knock them away, it's gonna be the Janna, but then again, you can't really knock back someone when they're nowhere close to you, and Blitzcrank will be that option. Just pull their target closer to the team, away from the disengage of the Janna, and that's exactly what they're gonna do.
What's interesting is that we have some interesting combos that are starting to come up with, again, the Sin Zhao Aurelia's kill pressure. We have the Blitzcrank being able to pick and find potential engage points for these melee champions. We have Vigar Diana, where Vigar can set up a cage and Diana can ult everything inside. We technically have Vigar Janna. I don't expect to see it, but Janna can fling them all into the cage. But I would
yeah. I like their
uh,
thinking.
I do not think we will see that, but who knows? Maybe they've cooked up the combos. And otherwise, we do see Ezreal getting taken away from Storm Fury. We have finally the Aphelios getting taken away from Tony again.
Something worth mentioning, though. Oh, never mind. I was gonna mention Kaisa was left open, but it looks like Suniz no Hands actually going to be the ones banning it away. No, it's gonna be left open. So the Kaisa could get taken away by Renekton Gators. Try to deny that Kaisa Nautilus combo that's still pretty prevalent in the current meta. But we'll see what the plan is here. Kaisa or this Jin?
Jin is
Kaisa
a
or
really weird
Jin?
pick because
Oh,
Jin
whoa, whoa,
doesn't
whoa, whoa,
actually
whoa,
have a
whoa,
lot.
whoa, 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 whoa,
Oh
whoa, whoa. Okay,
my.
okay, forget about the Jin. We just saw an insta-lock Yasuo.
That's probably a Yasuo
What the
ADC.
heck is happening? It's gotta... Huh? Okobi, Leeson top?
It could be a potential, but I
This is so
do
weird. This is
not
so weird.
expect it to get picked in.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. There was no way that Leeson was gonna get locked in. It's gonna be Kokobi on Ornn duty.
It could have been.
This
The
is...
Yasuo pick is really good for the team. Having the synergy with the Diana ulti, with the Janna ulti, with the Ornn ulti. The
Oh
Lee
my god,
Sin
yeah.
was probably a joke.
But it was valuable.
However,
It was likely.
It is probably has something to do with the name, unfortunately. But
Unfortunately.
we
This
to
is a
quickly mention,
spicy draft. I'm not gonna lie. Both of these drafts are very, very different from what we've seen for the past 2 games.
what's critical to mention here is that the Yas does provide a lot of peel for the Janna against the Blitzcrank in this lane. And that Blitzcrank Jin is not a very known and very stable lane. Blitz does not provide enough time and stickiness for the Jin to be able to drop a full burst combo. However, we do see the comfort getting locked in here, seeing the Irelia get locked in, seeing the Jin locked in. We see Scion getting picked up into the Orin, which is really useful for um in the scaling matchups because Scion is one of those few tanks that can match Orin in this current meta, even surpass them in in certain matchups. However, again, Renekton Gators, even more than last game, are doubling down on this hard OAD comp.
Yeah, it's worked. Excuse me. It's worked for them last time. Game number 2. We did point it out, but it seems to not matter. They were just this Aurelia just got insanely ahead, was able to just take over the game. Eventually, everyone else started to develop a lead from their own lanes, and were just able to relatively cleanly close out game number 2. And this time, it might be a little bit harder for Excatari to become a menace on this Aurelia, like in game number 2, especially with this Vagar, which is known for just caging in this Aurelia, containing her movement. So
What is really important to mention here is even with the Diana Yasuo combo, it is pretty difficult to engage into their whole team unless they all stack on top of each other and get that multi-man ulti. If you go for only a few targets, it might be very difficult to set up these kills, especially with the turn potential of Jin, of Sion, of Irelia.
I think it's just going to be a matter of how everyone's damage outputs are going to be used. This Yasuo, it's going to be a little difficult, especially with so many melee champions. It's definitely going to help you, this Yasuo, in terms of sticking onto these melee targets, possibly looking for a multi multi-man ultimates. But it's a matter of how they play these fights, how they use their ultis, how they use their utility, and it's gonna go down to this Yasuo in terms of the execute, the alley-oops from so many different champions, like the Janna knockup, the Diana knockup with the ultimate, Ornn ultimate knockup, even the dash knockup too. There's just so many options for this Yasuo. And if the Gators aren't careful, there's a chance they get absolutely destroyed every team fight. But other than that, it's gonna be a little, I don't know. Blitzcrank going to be insta-lock, thinking they have the edge over this team composition. I did like their thinking in terms of pulling a target closer to their own team for minimal disengage potential, but with this Yasuo win wall, better yet, the Ornn W. You can block Blitzcrank hook with Ornn W. So that's already 2 targets you can't hook. Best thing you got is a Janna, Vagar, or a Diana. But there's a chance that this Yasuo could be there to just win wall it away. So this Blitzcrank needs to get extra creative when going for these hooks.
It's good to mention though, we do see really strong scaling on Suniz no hands here. With the Vigar, with the Yas, and the Orin. So it is up to the Renekton Gators again to build those leads on the Jin, on the Aurelia, to be able to create those carries that allow them to be able to punish the scaling style of Suniz no hands here, and to be able to look for either a strong enough lead to directly team fight them, or to be able to split them to death with this Sound and Aurelia in the sidelines.
Ooh, This is gonna be a spicy one. This is gonna be a very very interesting game. Yep, it's a confirmed Storm Fury with that Yasuo AD carry, and yeah, I don't even know at this point. This could go either way. But we gotta wait a bit, and see as we take that short break. Game number 3, the deciding match for Suniz No Hands versus the Gators. Will the Gators come out on top, or will Suniz No Hands be the ones to move on and step over the Gators to stay in that upper bracket? We will see when we come back. Here we go. Final game of this series between Suniz No Hands and Renekton Gamers. That is wrong.
Gators.
Gamers, same thing. And they're gonna be true to their name. Gonna swim around the river. And then hide into this bush. Uh-oh. They're gonna go. They're going for Coco Bee. Here they come. Do they know? Do they know? Oh, Coco Bee knows. He's just gonna flash away. Oh, wait, but the hook. He's looking. He's looking. Damn.
And
I
that's
respect
the
the aggression.
flash.
I respect the aggression, though.
And a flashless Orin that could be punishable by the Sin Zhao early on.
Yeah, and hopefully, Renekton Gators are going to be able to realize that, try to capitalize on it. For now, Wang Mo will start in that top side. We're going to see both these junglers starting on opposite sides of the map for the first time in this series. Usually, both these junglers do start in that top side, but it looks like Suman this time around will start on the red buff. Given that this Diana does do a lot of auto attacking.
And it seems like again we do have Dwaymo looking towards, pathing towards this bot side, looking for this potential opportunity onto the Yasuo, who is a melee champion, into Blitzcrank Xin Zhao. It's a pretty solid chance that they could set up a gank, burn a summoner, and look for kill potential in the future.
A little bit of a trade, level 2 trade for Coco Bee. Oh, see Gatari, he's done the same thing before, but the baby cage really not going to do a whole lot other than just keep the Aurelia in that little circle, but is able to equalize the trade thanks to the minions.
What's really important to mention here is that for Renekton Gators to win, they need to be building up a strong lead onto this Aurelia to not let the Vigar and the Yasuo free scale with Orin, Yasuo, Diana.
Oh, Storm Fury.
Oh,
Stuck in a weird spot. And Tosi was able to just weave in that Blitzcrank hook and do a lot of damage onto this Yasuo.
but critically still, the Yasuo, this Storm Fury still has his flash. So it allows him to play pretty confidently, knowing that he still has that tool of escape if he needs it.
Yep, also does have that fleet footwork, so he will just have that extra little sustain in that lane. Which is really good in when you have a team composition that heavily relies on you pumping out the damage, pumping out that multi-man ultimates. You have everyone on your team relying on you to get that slam dunk in, and totally not Lucy. He's in a lot of trouble. He's gonna get solo killed again. Same story from game number 2. Another solo kill first blood. Going over to see Katari.
And Katari, again, showing up on this Aurelia pick. Getting even the exchange of flashes, which means that there will be even more kill pressure onto this Vigar in the future.
Yeah, the baby cage just straight up goes wide. And that was crucial in the solo kill for Katari. That's gonna leave Lucy in a bit of a disadvantage, as per usual. It seems like, and now there's gonna be a play happening in this bottom lane. Good CC coming in, but the wind wall doing a lot of work, and Storm Fury is able to escape. Wangmo could trail with the flash, and that's exactly what he will do, but will get traded with his life immediately.
And then top lane. Alright.
That was a good play coming in from the Renekton Gators' bot lane. Again was able to just weave in the blitz hook through the minions. Almost got the follow up with the Deadly Flourish, but I think it was windwalled by Storm Fury, but not entirely too sure on that. But for now, we gotta see. We need to. All eyes are on this Yasuo in terms of trying to get ahead.
But
And
as
again,
of now,
also we gotta pay attention to Katari being an absolute menace. Storm Fury. Oh, that wind wall was a little early, but a good knock-up to slow them down.
and now with the spot prio, they could look for this dragon.
That was way too close.
Dwaymo
And yeah.
looking for the no, maybe not. We'll see. Oh, and the dragon has started.
Dragon
With
is
the
indeed
bot lane
started.
push.
Yeah. Bot lane going to get priority for the time being. Same goes with the mid lane. And 2 priority lanes equals an objective. That is exactly what the Gators will do. They're going to start swimming into the river. Look at this dragon. And yeah, 4 members already on this dragon. No one in Suniz No Hands has position priority.
However, look on the top side here.
Yeah.
They look like they have some type of exchange plan there they're going for here.
They want to look for something towards the top side. There's the diagonal theorem coming in, but a good deny. Oh, that was unfortunate.
Looks like there
Suman
was an
wanted to try to
attempt.
block. Yeah, he tried to block the Scion ultimate, but just wasn't able to. Unlucky. And that's gonna give a relatively free dragon going over to the Renekton Gators.
And another mid.
Uh-oh. Oh, another play coming in. The stun keeps them at bay, but Totally Not Lucy remains in auto attack range. And that's gonna cost his life. And again, Katari making the magic happen in this mid lane. Got absolutely, just absolutely, destroyed in game number 1. Now just coming back with a vengeance.
And now we see it. 2 kills again on the Aurelia. 1 kill on the Sinzao. The people on Renekton Gators that need to be getting this lead to be able to snowball their laners, to snowball the side lanes, to build up presence for their team are getting the kills they need. And it's very likely that if they use this lead correctly, that this might just be game 3.
Maybe, just maybe, as Phasex Wizard gonna take a lot of turret damage, forced to flash. That's a good lead. Little small victory for Kokobi, as he doesn't have to worry about that flash no more.
However, even with a 900 gold advantage in the mid lane, we do still see that farm advantage.
Whoa. It looks like an extended trade coming in. The hook is there for a little extra damage. Toonie gonna flash away, but Tosi is there to finish off the kill. Now the curtain call coming in. Juke Shoes is gonna be enough.
But still, huge kill for the Jhin. Allowing him
Very
to.
huge kill indeed, and yeah, the Renekton Gators are slowly but surely extending their lead. Unstoppable Onslaught going to be used. Good block from Kokobi to block the CC, but now there's a little bit of an exchange happening in the bottom side, or of the top river. Wangmo going to get surprised with the baby cage. Now Suman and Wangmo shaking hands in the river, just walking away. But now Kokobi is here. This might cause a little bit of problems. Ornhorn is available. We'll see when it will be used. The Moonfall also going to be popped as well. Finally, the Ornhorn comes in, and that's going to be Wangmo going down. Good baby cage coming in from Totally Not Lucy. Maybe they'll finally get a kill onto this Aurelia, and they will. Shut down. 500 gold going over to Kokobi. And that's a good response.
This is really important because even though we have an extremely fed Irelia on Qatari, still the person leading the gold in this game is Suman with that heavy amount of farming that he's done in the jungle. And I can't get over the fact you call that the baby cage, but still, I mean,
that's what I've heard. Just like in pro. So like it's like at this point it's like ingrained in my brain at this point.
I see.
I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's kind of funny.
But regardless, Irelia still being unable to dash out of it. Finally, the Vigar is showing its value in this game. And critically, those picks allow for this Diana on Suman to be able to snowball and develop an even bigger lead, which might be able to allow for the Vigar and the Yas that are both really behind right now to buy them time to get back into this game.
Ooh, another stun. Almost connects. Tilda not Lucy. Using that baby cage again. And there we go. Another play, though, happening in the bottom side. Trying to go for something, but Suman is there. Last breath going to be used, but now Diwang Mo is here, but the Moonfall is going to be huge, but it's a 3-man, but Storm Fury doesn't have the ultimate. The Monsoon trying to heal up this Diana, just not going to be in time. No wind wall, no wind wall available, and Storm Fury will go down, and she's going to, and the rest of Suniz no Hands, she just fall like dominoes now. Double kill coming in. An extended trade happening though in the top side. Coco B just trying to just body block Basics Wizard from using that ultimate, but no matter what, he will get away. And what seemed to look good for Suniz no Hands is immediately shut down by the Renekton Gators with the play in the bottom side. And it's going to be a free dragon. The second one for themselves.
And again, with this priority, we do see the Jhin getting money from the bot tower. We have
Unstoppable Onslaught going to be used. Toasty just trying to set him up. Good CC block and good flash, but the hook is going to land. And, we're not going to talk about that. Good stun coming in from the baby cage. Tolden Lucy going to be forced to flash away. We're going to pretend we didn't see that. That got a little awkward. I'm not going to lie.
What is really important to mention right now is we're already reaching that 14-minute point, and we are starting to see what a huge lead getting built up by the Renekton Gators. 3 plates down on bot, 4 plates down on top. Top tower potentially falling to the Scion soon. We have huge gold leads, over 1,000 in the ADC position, over almost 1,000 in the mid lane position. And as these gold leads become bigger, it becomes much harder for Suniz no Hands to win this game.
And first tower going to go over to Phasix Wizard. A nice little gold injection coming in from him. Now, then you gotta think about what can Suniz no Hands do in this situation to try to keep themselves alive in this game. They're just gonna slowly get macroed down. As I say that, this might be the solution that they need. Storm Fury going for a last breath, all in play, but doesn't quite have the damage to finish them off just yet. Doesn't have the shield though, doesn't have enough crit chance.
And yet 20 lives and still has flash now.
Yeah.
He lived that without flash.
Definitely did live without that flash. I think he did use heal, but then again, flash is a way more important summoner spell. As reinforcements need to be coming in. Teleport going to be used by Phasix Wizard, which he can definitely do, because he already got his top tower. He can do whatever the heck he wants, and now Kokobi trying to do the same. But for now, we got a nice and thick Scion in this bottom lane. As I say that, Qatari will be the one to take over top. But Kokobi just kinda, you know, he kinda just walks away. Ooh, but the Heartsteel doing a bit of work onto Phasix Wizard. Last breath, not quite up just yet. Does have it available now. But it looks like Kokobi wants to go for this. Qatari has not much mana to work with. But Phase X Wizard, he's just way too damn tanky, and now
Oh,
Summon
mid?
might be caught in a weird spot. Deadly Flourish going to connect with the CC chain, and that's going to be a kill going over to D-Wang Mo. And a good play, good look coming in from the Gators as they see Summon just that little bit off position. They are able to capitalize. Storm Fury trying to do what he can onto this Scion, but the Scion just doesn't take any damage.
And what's a big critical issue right now that we're starting to see is that even with a lot of armor getting picked up by the team of Suniz No Hands into this full AD comp, that because of the fact they're spending so much time, so much resources itemizing into armor, they actually cannot do damage to the Irelia, to the Scion, to the Xin Zhao, which have been causing them so much problems.
Phase X Wizard just getting whittled down little by little. Trying to do what he can to keep them at bay, but does finally manage to get away to safety. Now this Herald, though. There's a man advantage in favor of the Gators, and they will be able to take these objectives. They're just taking every single objective quite convincingly. And now Dragon going to be spawning in about 40 seconds. And yeah, as soon as no hands are slowly running out of time. Running out of options even. Trying to look for something to happen. Kokobi doesn't use his W as an invulnerable and just tanks one too many turret shots. He might be going down here. Good interrupt coming in from Kokobi. But he is a dead man. Trying to use the Ornhorn to try to look for something. Does manage to knock up Phase Wizard. But it all seems inevitable as he's going to get solo killed.
And that pick, it probably sets up for a dragon here. As
Yeah,
we
seems like
wait.
a little bit of a misplay coming in.
Oh.
Yeah, from Kokobi. Now the Herald.
Never mind the
There's no hands,
dragon.
they're just getting
needs-
routed.
Who needs a dragon when you have a inhib tower at 17 minutes?
Ooh, wait a minute. There's a play happening in the Dragon, though. D-Wang Mo trying to do what he can to survive. He's doing a little bit of damage. This curtain call snipe through the legs of 3 members. Does manage to snipe down Storm Fury, but there is a trade kill. But look at the top side of the map. Kokobi just recently respawned, and this inhibitor is going to go down 18 minutes into the game. But then we got a flashback to the bottom side. Do they get the Dragon? Yes, Suniz No Hands. They do get the Dragon, but at what cost? The cost of the inhibitor, Tuni. I don't even know how you say his name. I think that's how you say it, but totally not Lucy. Trying to find a play here. The Baby Cage not going to quite connect, but he does a good bit of damage. The Gale Force 4th shot not going to be doing enough, but the push almost denied the vision to get the kill, but does manage to get in the end and just trades back and forth. But in the end, it's going to be the Gators coming out on top with a 6,000 gold lead.
And while that was all happening, we had Irelia already mentioned in the top lane, Scion taking the turn in the bot lane. These side lanes are completely getting kicked in while that Drake fight was happening. It was, and the issue was, even though Suniz No Hands was trying to force that dragon down to try to bait some type of response, Renekton Gators recognized the fact that they could just simply give up the drag there and look to extend their gold lead on some of their most important laners.
I know I said this before, but this time it's kind of obvious. As soon as No Hands are running out of options and running out of time, they need to start getting it together, looking for some sort of play. Phase X Wizard is just running down Storm Fury. But he does have a Janna to work with, but the knockup still connects. That wind wall will not deny that. And this Scion, this knock, it's a little tanky. Storm Fury does have the last breath to work with, but if they keep fighting the Scion, it's gonna be barren. Possibly at 20 minutes, they're gonna start it right as it spawns. You don't see this every day. Now Storm Fury, oh, he is, nope, that is a dead Yasuo if I've ever seen one, and that's going to be Baron, but the Moonfall going to be used, as will the Ornhorns, just to stall. They can't even look for a fight, they have to use it to stall. That is like worst case scenario. Qatari trying to find a pick onto holding Lucy. The Event Horizon not going to do enough to kill him off, and now Suman in a lot of trouble. Double kill going over the Qataris. Here's the Janna is here to try to disengage, but the Baron 20 minutes and 40 seconds into the game. That is not normal for a game of League of Legends, and the Gators will do just that. Slowly but surely clamping down in this game number 3. They want to look to end the series right here and right now. As I say that, uh-oh.
All special.
Uh-oh. Atari, ooh, was a little low. Is able to stabilize, but now Suman with the double dash, trying to do what he can, trying to deny this Aurelia from doing any more snowballing. But now it's going to be the Scion's turn to snowball, as he will get a kill. And blink and you miss it. The base of Suniz No Hands is in shambles. The Nexus is wide open. And 3 members of Suniz No Hands, it's all in their hands to try to keep themselves afloat in this game. But with a 9k gold lead, it all seems inevitable at this point, as the Renekton Gators clamping down. Game number 3. Basics Wizard should have a shield to keep himself alive. Yep, there it is. Just in time.
And right now, it just seems like there's really few options for Suniz No Hands. They have to somehow manage all of the... Oh.
Ooh, that was close. Close, but not quite.
But they have to manage all of these waves at once. Top wave getting shoved in by the super minions. We have Scion and Aurelia that are that created such a huge split push pressure and still could create a split pressure. With the fact that there is still 2 inhib turns alive, we have Drake coming up in about 30 seconds that could allow for more of an even bigger lead for Renekton Gators.
And yeah, it's just a matter of time of when do they want to make the move. Toasty wants to say that move is now, but we'll get disengaged for the time being. Dragon is going to be the call for the time being for the Renekton Gators. But at this point, it all seems inevitable at this point. The base of Suniz No Hands in absolute shambles. No more Nexus turrets, only 2 turrets remaining for the inhibitor and the mid lane, for the inhibitor, for the bot lane and the mid lane, I should say, and a little bit of a dance. Oh, okay. A little bit of a dance party in the bot lane. And Coco B absolutely whiffs the knockup. We'll see if that matters. Good clap to deny the knockup. But right now, what can they really do? The Janna gets knocked up. That might be a mistake. Monsoon needs to be used, and it actually didn't really do a whole lot, as the mid lane is going to be cracked open. And the options for Suniz No Hands, they're running out of time. They're looking for a desperation play. The Vanguard's Edge and the knockup from Kokobi is actually good, but is it really going to be enough? Qatari stays alive for just a little bit longer, but it's not going to be enough. Tooney absolutely free-firing in the back line. Totally Not Lucy, the final defense, and it's going to be a defense no longer, as Toasty just hooks him out of the game.
And that should just be the game right there.
Just like that, yeah, just like that. Nexus going to be exposed. Now it's going to be the Janna. But what can the Janna do? Glacial Augment is a good rune, but it's not going to be enough. Good stopwatch, I guess, to stall a little bit more time, but they're just stalling for the inevitable. Game number 3 and the deciding game will go over to the Renekton Gators, and they will stay alive in this upper bracket.
Congrats to the Renekton Gators, as they go 2-1 in their as the first team to win a series in this spring semester showdown. And I do believe we have a volunteer, or more should I say, a victim from
Volunteer. Oh, okay.
of
We
the
gotta use some
Renekton
stronger
Gators
words.
who is willing to share their share a little bit of insight for their victory.
I'm not gonna lie. I had to give credit to Suniz no hands for game number 3. I saw the vision. I saw the Yasuo potential, but they just unfortunately weren't able to work with it. And I believe our uh, uh, do I have to say victim?
No, you can say
Okay,
a player, whatever.
Huh?
a
We
player.
we
Okay.
are
Sure,
joined
yes.
by Toasty from the
Hello.
Renekton Gators.
Hello.
How you feeling after this win?
Much better. I just realized that I should not be playing damage support. That's pretty much it. I'm pretty sure you guys saw my sus Pantheon ults that first game. Many, where I just like randomly ulted Dragon Pit and their blue buff for no reason. I don't know why. I thought that the Diana was there for some reason. But yeah, feeling a lot better. Our team got our macro down second and third game, so we felt a lot more grata.
What were your
We
thoughts
felt,
on? I know the Aurelia was an absolute menace in games 2
yeah.
and 3. Did you expect the Aurelia to be opened up in game number 3?
No, well, actually, we were expecting one of our priority picks to be picked up there. I don't know. We knew they were gonna take Diana, so we took the ban off Fiddle, and then we used additional ban on. Forgot what we used it on, but we used additional ban there. But we didn't really think that Aurelia would go through. It was probably gonna be another. We were probably gonna put like a safer mid laner, but I guess since it went through, we just went back to the same idea of second game, which is like bot lane slowly scales since their bot lane can't really do. So we just get bot lane a bit ahead, and then we get top lane and get a hard split push champion, and then mid lane just does its thing. So
I gotta
That's
know.
exactly what they did.
There's been a common thing, especially I've heard at Rockers, where whenever we see Seraphine Sona, we just have to question a bit of our sanity. What did you guys think when you saw that get locked in?
honestly, I don't think we played the early game against Seraphine Sona really well. Seraphine Sona well at all. I think Ezreal not was probably not the best possible combo there, but our plan, we really trust our mid laner a lot when he's on his carry champions. So we know that when I'm playing Nautilus, it's not for the Ezreal there, it's for the Aurelia, especially. So I roamed a lot that game. I just got because I think at level 6 or so, I realized that there's really nothing much I could do in lane. We already picked off the Seraphine once, so I thought that it was just better to roam around, and we just started playing around top mid. So Garen could split push. Garen can split push and threaten, so we could go and get a 20-minute Baron and end the game in 24 minutes.
Well, it was a strong performance from you guys. That was a quick reverse sweep actually by the time you guys started winning. You guys are playing Robbery next. So any words to them or to any of the teams in this tournament?
Don't ban
Preferably
Aurelia.
threats.
That's
Oh,
pretty much
okay,
it.
okay. We
Don't
got
ban
a threat. We got a threat. We like the set. We like the setup. We like the setup here.
All I'm gonna say
But
is that that was only just one way we play the game. We tried like a different macro strategy, but I guess we just kind of fell back into second and third game. Fell back into what we're used to because we're all used to like having a split pusher and doing a 4-1 or a 1-3-1, or where our priority picks are on soul lane. I know it's a bot lane centered meta, but we kind of prefer our soul lanes there. But yeah, we'll gap you, I guess.
Okay. There it is. Well
yeah,
then.
All right,
well,
all right.
it was a
Thank you.
pleasure talking to you, and
You too, you too.
we wish you the best in the rest
Thank
of your
you.
matches. And I think that's gonna be it from us for tonight. That was a banger of a matchup and a fast game number 3. I'm not sure if that'll be the fastest of the tournament. We will keep that in mind. 24:57 is the time so far. It's the time to beat. And we'll see if any teams are up to the task. But for now, I think that'll be it from us. Any closing thoughts from you?
Well, for my first time casting, it's very. It was a little shaky for me, but it was definitely a blast to cast with you, Dan. If anyone has any things they want to tell me about how I can improve or what how I any comments on my thing, you can just let me know. If you are going to want to criticize or
Oh
of my
wait.
casting, please send that by fax. And yeah,
By facts, okay.
yeah.
One more thing though, we gotta announce. Come to club tomorrow.
Last club of the month of the
Last club of
semester.
last club of the semester and the month. So you're not wrong, but we do look from what I know, the e-board they're cooking up something special. I'm not. It was kind of spoiled in the announcements, but either way, if you want to see it in real life, you should probably show up to club. Should be somewhere in Cirque, I believe, at 8 p.m. tomorrow.
Is
Oh,
mhm,
now technically today. Now it's midnight, but you know.
but
Either
yes,
way, yes, show up. You're gonna see something funny.
yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Either.
yeah. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you back eventually. Probably, I think.
We will announce it in the foreseeable future, but for now, that'll be it from us tonight. Have a good night, y'all.